Welcome to the Journey Mindfulness Podcast, where the inner world meets the infinite. I'm James O'Neill, and together we explore consciousness, the soul, mindfulness, and the mysteries beyond our world, and most importantly, how to integrate all of it into the life you're living right now. Welcome to the Journey Mindfulness Podcast. Today, we're stepping into rare territory where a PhD in psychology meets galactic consciousness, where clinical practice embraces channeled wisdom. My special guest today is Dr. Dorie Le Sieur. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
A psychospiritual therapist with a doctorate in psychology and the creator of the Galactic Akashic Family Constellations, a revolutionary healing modality that works across timelines, dimensions, and generations. What makes Dr. Dorie remarkable isn't just that she bridges these worlds, it's that she does it without apology, holding clinical rigor alongside cosmic truth, which I very much appreciate. And Dr. Dorie, your name means shining and glittering pearl like a star in Persian. And given everything that you've become, that feels prophetic. How has that meaning shaped your journey?
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction, James. I'm blushing, but I appreciate that. And thank you for having me on your podcast, my star brother. Yes,
Yeah.
very interesting. I think my mother channeled that, right? Back then, she had a visitation from our guru when I was born, and she said, something told me that we wanted to name you this. So, and my Persian name means shining, glittering pearl, like a star. And honestly, my whole life has been about uncovering the truth, uncovering the star within myself, and the star seed that I am. And before I remember my galactic lifetimes, I was doing Akashic records, and I always felt like there was just more. And I also looked in the stars all the time. I was that kid that always looked up, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm from the stars. So that's what really is kind of prophetic in a way. And later in my research, as you mentioned, um, especially in my first book, I realized that the universe is a hologram, and it is that star. And I brought this to show that it was that beautiful, multifaceted, multidimensional aspect that is within every human being. And then I realized this is why she channeled that name. So
Wow. Is that a crystal quartz?
it's a Swarovski crystal, but this really honestly, this is for my visual star seeds, right? I have all kinds of star seeds, but this really, when I say multidimensional, we'll get into it in a little bit. This is what
Yeah.
I mean. It's all the facets of the beautiful you that you are. And this is really what we are trying to uncover.
Wow. That's very interesting. Yeah. I don't know, is it Bashar? It talks about like the disco ball and just all the different reflections
Yeah, I
that
feel like he talks about the egg too, and I felt like I had to bring the cosmic egg because he was talking about the egg recently. I love Bashar. So, so grateful to Daryl Anka for bringing that knowledge. But I remember him saying something, your different facets. Anyway, this one, as soon as I saw this, I was like, I have to have it. This is really multidimensional, right? When we say multidimensional.
yeah, no, I know we're gonna unpack it more, but yeah, for sure. Like just there's so many different aspects to ourselves and where we come from and everything else.
I use props because it's very important, as you know, James, that people are different, right? And I can go into different star seeds as my clients. They all receive information differently. Some people don't really visualize, they feel frequency, see color, and some people are visual. So I always bring props.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
So you I believe you started in nursing and then moved into psychology. Could you walk us through like your evolution, in like medicine and clinical training to accepting channeled messages from the Arcturians? This is not
Yeah,
a small leap, but maybe you kind of knew about it beforehand.
definitely. Through memory recall, I realized the Arcturians were always around for me. Um, I was born in Iran and there was war and it was very unsafe. As you can see on TV, people are trying to gain their freedom, and I'm really feeling that frequency because it's the DNA within me. And that region is very galactic. There's a lot of it's a crossroad of bloodlines and crossroad of soul lineages. So, um, speaking from where this all, again, the background in nursing, I just want to just give you a background of after
Yeah.
the Arcturians, as you mentioned that, I just want to say they were always with me, but I had to go through my purpose, right? And I would go to college, do nursing. I joined the Air Force, the military, and I was, doing nursing, and I did linguistic work, and it was all part of my mission as I realized that now that every single place that they had taken me was going to bring me to this present moment. And it's all making so much sense of the Arcturian mission on this planet, the starseeds who work on the DNA activation, the bloodlines, karma clearing, and also the security mission that the Arcturians have here, which is part of what you're also interested in as an Arcturian starseed, and how much we care about disclosure and love Dr. Greer. And we do care about that. We do care about the security and other aspects. So to bring that all together, the healer in me, the Pleiadian lives in me was always, I want to be a medical person, and it was important for me to learn the body first and foremost, the anatomy of the body, because think about bloodline, DNA. You have to understand the body because your mind, body, spirit complexes, as Ross says, and Seth material. So we're not just one thing. We are many things. We are multidimensional. This word is going to be repeated this whole time, but we are. We truly are. So now I see that, okay, nursing, science, anatomy, physiology, studying all that, and then really, really wanting to become, again, I think about the linguist aspect, right? I speak 4 or 5 languages, and channeling is fully language. Like language is fully language. It's just really bringing me into this. And also, it's street cred because they know the populations and what we do and how we are raised. They bring us to connect with others that have had these types of experiences. Oh, I lived in Maryland for, well, I'm from the DMV too, just like you. But oh, I'm a veteran. Or for you, like, oh, I'm from, I love this football team. Everybody has to, connect with that population. For me, nursing and medical field, psychology, science, and then later cosmic intelligence, it just seems like it was a way to kind of lead me into that. Of course, I was not fully open because I was not ready yet. And everybody, you just have to go through the veil, star seeds. Usually, we are here to clear the karma from inside out. So we go through our trauma. We choose very traumatic lifetimes, most people do, and traumatic childhood. But we then go around, we as we heal these traumas, we break these cycles, and as we heal these cycles, we heal these lineages. So for me, it was a bridge between science, psychology, the body, and then the soul, the spirit, the heart, the connection. And that's something, the ego and the soul, the spirit. And this isn't this really the dance of light and dark, right? It's higher and up, and then we're doing the yin and yang. And this is the dance. So to me, I believe now that I channel the Arcturians, and throughout my book and Arcturian Council of Time, always explain this to me, that you're here to alchemize. You're here to be a bridge between science and consciousness. So I hope this was good, a little brief explanation of that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, the more you learn about spirituality, I feel like the more you go towards science and the more you dive into science, you connect with spirituality. They're interconnected. You can't separate the two.
Yeah, psychology only explains a piece of the story, right? But not the whole holographic picture. And humans are multidimensional, so they only see, talk therapy, right? Let's just talk. Let's talk
Yeah.
psychotherapy. Talk therapy. Oh my gosh. Like, I hope nobody's offended if they are clinicians here or clients. It's only going to help you so much. We are not addressing the soul, the thoughts, the lives, the trauma that is creating the disease, that is creating the trapped emotion that becomes disease. We need to address the soul. We cannot just address the body. We can't just put band-aids on the problem. And when we do this bridging science and consciousness, science and the soul, then it's only then that true healing can happen. Right now, it's only sick care. It's not health care.
Ooh,
Think about that. Is that a key word for you?
you just opened up so much. Some of the sort of short videos that I've been making to connect with people to share some of these concepts is, if you deep down are carrying this wound,
Mhm.
um, I was just listening to another or reading a Rick Rubin book on like, creating and things like that. When you say you create something amazing and it's a hit or people like it and you get fame and notoriety and achievements and things like that. If you at your core believe you're unworthy or that you're not good enough, like it doesn't fix it. You haven't resolved the core issue. And so you're walking around with this wound, and people are looking up to you. And now you have this fame and you're still wounded. And so it was just kind of interesting to hear it from him, but this too. I mean, like
Oh
you,
yeah,
you,
it's the money. So because money is a tool, right? Religion is a tool. They're completely neutral. Completely neutral. We associate whatever they are to us, right? So, and we people want to manifest and, oh, I do this and this is manifestation and I have a vision board and why is it not coming? You have not done shadow work. It's impossible. It's impossible to really integrate your light without alchemizing your darkness. It's the tree of life. You must be rooted. You must be understanding your darkness. You must alchemize, accept, and love every part of you in order to manifest because you only can be what you are the frequency of. So how do I get there? Why am I not getting there? It's because in your aura, in your, karmic aura, you still have these things. So as soon as you see it, it triggers you because it hasn't been healed yet. Again,
which,
this is why my modality hopefully helps.
yeah, well, we definitely want to get into it more because it's such a big deal. And I'm big into the ideas behind manifestation because I believe that it's important, but it's also important to understand if you're not getting that, like you just said. And I'm so glad you used the, alchemizing and integrating. Like
Mhm.
that's the purpose of this podcast is like, yeah, okay, it's great. Like manifest, but you have work to do. And these are some steps, and like I'm sure your modality touches on this,
Yeah.
real things that you can do to integrate those aspects of self and shadow, not in a bad way, like in a good way, so you can obtain not those things, but that sense of being that you want, that you desire.
Exactly. How do you, again, I'm like, I want to get a job, but I don't know why. I've applied to a billion jobs, but are you desperate? Are you depressed as you apply? Your energy is being put in that. You're not at the frequency of joy in order to attract that which you really are looking for.
Is there an example you can think of? Like, I'm trying to think of a good example for that. Like when you, I don't know, apply to the job, but you truly don't believe you're capable of it or something
They're
like that.
showing
Where
me, the Arcturians are here, by the way. A lot of things that I say, the Council of Time are with me.
welcome.
But they are just saying, dear ones, it's like a magnet, right? It's the positive and negative. So that's what they showed me, the example of you must, they must be positive in order to attract each other. Not like, do you know what I mean? Like positive and negative must attract each other. You must, it must be the right frequency in order to attract that.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
also, the three things that the Council of Time have told me, that really, from what I understand, is in order to manifest quicker, as you do your work, as you truly believe that you are something, but you also need to understand your multidimensional self, right? Like, I still have a trauma from the Lyran Collective where I, for example, let me give you an example of this from the Galactic Akashic, starseed constellations that I've had to deal with. Beautiful, beautiful starseed, Lyran Lemurian starseed.
Can you
She's
unpack that though? Just identify who
Yeah, for
Lyran
sure. Sure,
Lemurian.
absolutely. So there are different civilizations and different beings and in different from different galaxies and different planets who we, of course, their name might not be Lyran, right? But in our language, we have identified certain names for these different collectives. And so they show themselves differently for us. Some are have physical bodies and some do not. They're only light, but they come into dreams and they show imagery when they show themselves to others. Or some people just feel a frequency. So by that I mean there were galactic wars, right? Like let's say we have wars from a person's lifetime. And I don't know, is this the time to go into this or
Sure. I mean, you can talk about like like maybe use the example of like Star Wars or the Orion Wars
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
kind of thing.
Orion Wars. We're still talking about manifestation, and I want to tell you why this is important because let's say a beautiful star seed, gorgeous, amazing star seed, and people know star seeds on your channel, right?
You know what?
Okay,
How would
so
you
some of
define it?
I would say I love Dolores Cannon, so I recommend people listening to some of her stuff if they resonate, right? Just like Bashar says, just follow your passion. If it doesn't resonate, don't. If it resonates with you and this sparks interest, please go read some of that. She talks about different levels of volunteers that come to Earth to help raise the vibration of this planet, to graduate to whatever density or dimension. I'm not getting into that because I think as we evolve, this information will evolve, right? So it's not fully Bible. You have to be open to new information. But
Hmm.
this is what it is. They're coming down. We've had many different lives, and sometimes we've originated from other planets. Everyone originates from source, from God, however way you refer to that. And then we have different timelines and different key star frequencies again from the Arcturians. So mine is Arcturian, yours, James, is Arcturian. But we also have Pleiadian, Assyrian, and other. These are again these names that I'm saying are these different collectives. So we come here with a certain mission to assist this planet, or for us to learn and to heal these galactic traumas. And there's just multiple things that we are doing at the same time. So that's a star seed. We're here to assist the humanity, and we're also here to heal the karma of lineages from inside out. That's some of our missions. Again, we have specific missions, and then there are walk-ins, and there's star seeds. So I don't want to get into it. For example, like you can listen to Bashar, the new children. There's all these different types that there are no books on,
Yeah,
but people are coming. Souls are here to rebuild. We are going through a transition between two eras right now.
right.
So when we say star seed, some of us who have realized that we have other lives from other galaxies, and we have realized that we have a mission beyond just, for example, being a therapist.
The multidimensional soul.
You're a multidimensional soul. So from that, I want to say So I have taken beautiful Debbie Solaris. I love her. She's also an Arcturian sister. I've taken her Galactic Akashic record, and it was beautiful because, again, like I said, it's part of my research into this. And Dolores Cannon's QHHD, and I saw people are going to these galactic lives, and I was feeling things. And as I was doing this, Arcturians and others would come here, and these beings that people were channeling were also making me feel different things. Like, I asked someone what love is, and they pour cold, it was like cold energetic water on my heart that I felt physically. So again, as part of starseed explanations, but here, going back to, again, we want to talk about manifestation, but then the trauma. An example of a starseed who was dealing with that. She sells crystals, beautiful crystals, and she's always worked with crystals. And she, for some reason, had purchased this crystal course, but forever, for 5 years, something blocked her from finishing the course. You cannot do talk therapy for that. Like, why are we doing that? Why do we get to maybe $100,000 a year and we're like, that's enough. I don't want to go further. I don't want to be a millionaire. What is stopping us? And sometimes it's not just past lives. For her, and I'll give you an example because I've asked her permission to share her story. It was because she was a Lemurian, Pleiadian hybrid soul in Lemuria. As I looked at her Akashic records, she was building crystals, and these crystals were alive. Some could be eaten, some were portals. They were helping places. It was like, kind of like helping Atlantis. They were building, they were part of star making, and she was in a lab, as part of the Galactic Federation. But there were certain beings who came to her, and they unfortunately somehow tricked her. They were not honest about their purpose, and they said that they were sent by the Federation or the councils of the time, and they told her, we need to get these crystals. And they took the crystals and they used them in their weapons, and there was, these weapons were used in galactic wars, in the Lemurian Atlantean wars. So forever, her galactic guilt was stopping her somehow from really, moving forward, because her energy, her mission here was to put her energy into her crystals. Her crystals activate other star seeds. I have some of her beautiful crystals here too. I mean, the Vogel is from her crystals. But,
Mm.
and again, we had to do this work with her. We had to do the activation. We had to do, people represented these different aspects of her. And we even have others represent the dark beings.
Well, and I just want to touch on, you
Yeah.
could tell me if I'm correct or not, but my understanding of that, like there was a lot of maybe Lyrans or other beings that were killed by those weapons. Like it's the equivalent of like the Death Star or something like that, where it was mass destruction. So a very traumatic event.
Yes, absolutely. And I think others have said this too. Debbie talks about this, others do. And I've seen that in some of what I've done, because when I do the readings, I see everyone's story. Um, yes, it was barbaric. There was a lot of slaughtering. Um, we had a friend who was a white dragon from the White Dragon Collective, who are the healers and teachers of the Dragon Collective, and same thing. So much slaughter and killing of this collective happened by another collective in a different universe that the starseed was from. Yes, this is very traumatic events for people. War. Another was the loss of, and these get repeated. Again, tell me if it's okay to go deep into this, but the patterns
Yeah.
are being repeated. So in this, I guess, under this context here, I want to say, you want to manifest, you want to expand your crystal business, for example, and you're complaining of, oh my gosh, I'm so broke, da 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 da, I want to manifest, but we have not heal this galactic trauma that's preventing you from really taking off. And sometimes just looking at it is helpful. But sometimes what we do is we really bring in these energies. We allow the being, the person, the starseed to see and feel and acknowledge it because we still have an ego. Because I'm working at the human level with this starseed. Because
In
when
the
I
moment,
say
yeah.
the moment, right? This is where we come in, James. The psychotherapy, the education that we receive in the scientific work is very helpful because no matter what, I can sit here and tell a person, oh, I see this or whatever, you're healed. And that's okay. And it's true. It's instantaneous now. And some people are awesome and they accept it. But others, they're just like the ego has questions. So it is helpful for them for a system to be there. And the system of family constellations, systemic constellations, it literally like just, it's like you're opening a zip file and it dissects the whole thing. Oh, let's just, whew, let's open it up. Let's look at all these aspects. Do you see that? Do you see that human of the star seed? And then we bring in the next level. Do you see that, my beautiful Lyran star seed? Do you see that now? Like, if there's these other aspects that she is. So everyone is present. She sees her multidimensional self. And the ego, the being, the inner child, everyone is present at every level energetically. So I don't know if this makes sense. It's very powerful work.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about opening up your awareness to what you're carrying with you in your multidimensional soul. You know, what kind of brought us together was me commenting on your question about trauma. Like, so even if you don't believe in any of this, it's like, how do you heal this trauma? And then you look to the now moment, the body, sensation, and looking at the body as the combination lock. But you're talking about going even deeper.
Exactly, but everything mirrors everything, right? Like again, as below, as above, so below, or whatever. That's what they say, right? As
As
above,
above,
so
so below.
below. And it's just we are right. The outside world's a projection of us, right? Like if we're within this, and this is the outside world, and everything is just projecting back to us. You're absolutely right, James. And I'm not really fascinated about trauma and darkness, right? It's not. The cool thing about this is let's spend an hour or two. It's almost like psychic surgery. We open up this field with care. All the Galactic Federation are always present. I really with safety, and we open it up and we look at these aspects, and it's just so it's almost like smart technology because this modality has been channeled, so it's taken care of. This is so smart. It looks like you're playing with crystals or you're doing things. Everything is so potent. It really is like soul surgery. And this timeline gets rewritten. We literally are rewriting timelines. And as you know, this is a very big Arcturian mission. Of course, we have a lot of different technology to help with this DNA. We're really literally rewriting and healing the DNA of humanity this way through ourselves and through this work. It's so exciting. I get so excited about it.
I know. I've met. I'm so fascinated by it, right? Like people that have like that gift where they can see into. I'm curious at how you see it, but just how you can manipulate essentially energy, right? And
It's amazing. And you don't have to see. Do you mean like clairvoyance when you say to see?
uh, how is it? How have I understood it? It like almost like I want to say light language, but like movements, like
Patterns.
mudras,
Right.
energy, like
Mandalas, patterns, yes.
hologram. I think it's been the kind of like I see this and then I move it here and that kind of thing.
Now that's how I see it. Exactly. After doing so many of these, when I look at you, when I do a reading for clients, when I tap in, I see the pattern. As soon as you start talking, I do the psychotherapy happens as a psychologist, right? Like I need you to tell me, start from the beginning, who are you? Within that, in the silence between the words, there is galactic and akashic information, and I am constantly receiving downloads, and I know you are too. I'm constantly receiving downloads because the Arcturians are telling me he does too. So I'm constantly receiving downloads. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. This is the pattern. I'm not good enough. This is the pattern. This is never for me. This is a pattern: survival, scarcity. Where is this going? And literally instantaneously I start seeing, oh, they were this in a past life, this in a this life, this is in a of course, parallel lives. Oh wow, okay, let's look at the galactic. This happened, that happened. And there's billions of lives, but it's just like which one wants to pop in, and which one is this particular blockage, I want to say, but something that they need to alchemize. What is this one related to? Because people are like, oh, let's do a galactic reading. You're not going to get all your lives. It's going to be the one that is the most necessary right now
Yeah.
path. So you see,
Yeah.
oh, this is what I want to say also with this modality, James. Some starseeds, you feel and you sense frequency you don't necessarily see. What's beautiful about this is that you are able to see because people will channel. People will start channeling these aspects. You don't have to see anybody. And they don't know a word about this person, and they don't even have to know about lions. And they bring in the most amazing, but most of the time these are much more better with starseeds. Starseeds can usually channel and things, and I allow all of this because I went to the regular family constellation began by Bert Hellinger. He was a German psychotherapist, also a missionary, and he went to Africa. Is this okay to talk about now?
Yeah.
Just
Let's
go into
go.
it? Okay. I know you have like, organized it, but just kind of going into it. And he was just beautiful, really Pleiadian, right? Because I can see with people's galactic lives when I look at them. Beautiful being, and he went to Africa and he saw that they had this organized way of going about things, and everyone had a size and a place in a system. So he mixed that with, again, the psychotherapy knowledge that he had, and he brought this traditional kind of healing work and merged it together and called it family constellations. And he talked about three orders of love. He said when love is not flowing, that we have these energetic imbalances. You're not aligned. Almost like the family soul is like an ocean. There's an individual soul, a collective soul. Everyone's connected. Everyone should be included. There is a balance of give and take between the family. And also, there's a hierarchy of existence. Like, as grandparents are larger, and parents and children, and it needs to go down this way. So when it's imbalanced, when you have to, I'm just going to tell you the, actual constellations. A
Yeah.
person who has to emotionally, I know I just published an article on this, James, and I know you deal with this. If you're a psychotherapist in your family as a psychologist, everyone's like, well, you've had the training. Help us. Why don't you cope for us? I don't know if you deal with this, but oh, you should be able to take that. Like, here, as all my emotions, you process them for me.
Yeah.
Please tell me, like, it's like, why do you feel bad? You should know this by science. It's like, I'm still human.
Yeah.
So, um, just like a little bit of this is people not processing, and you have to emotionally care for other people, and this is an imbalance, right? Or there's an ex and a father you've never met, and my father was a drunk and I just ignore them and I don't, but oh, I want to open a business and I don't know why I'm not successful, right? Mother and father are the creative. Mother energy, the feminine energy, is the creative part of you, your sacral chakra connected to your chakra systems. And then father energy is your action, your solar plexus. So even if they were horrible, because star seeds, of course, we have a lot of trauma in the family. We come in traumatic families because, again, we have to heal the karma for them. This becomes a blockage for people because now I'm not just energetically acknowledging the size and place. There's just this emotional and energetic imbalance, and people, it's just interferes with relationships, it interferes with businesses. Did you know, I have an MBA too, but did you know that
My gosh.
I know I've been multi-dimensional. I have been working since I was like 13 years old. So
The most educated person on the
no,
show
no, no,
ever.
I don't call it that, but I've just been like, I'm always like curious. I'm a curious cat. So again, it's just these people that you're not, business is all about family. It's all about your energy. This going back to manifestation, going back to coming back around to it now. All of this, there's business constellations that people do because everything is an entity, everything is a system. Business is a system. If there was, for example, a grandfather who lost money, for me, and I'll share my own experience, my family were not Muslim in Iran, and everything is happening now, and I can share a little bit about that. And nothing against, again, I believe all religions are divine and all ascended masters are respected. But in that particular time and space that I was born, my family were persecuted for their religion, and my grandfather was a commercial real estate person. So business is like big for us, but he lost everything. He owned multiple malls. This is an example of this. And he lost everything. So in my consciousness, there was this, if I have too much, it's unsafe. Everything nice that I have, it gets taken away. We're not, so I was resonating with that. It's in my consciousness. So until
So like stay small, stay hidden.
yes. Your parent maybe didn't have a degree. And so, to some extent, some people are just kind of like in loyalty, and we call them energetic entanglements. So, you're loyal to that. Even disease, even substance abuse, people create that same disease of their parents in loyalty if they don't know. And we
Hmm.
just repeat that wound. We just repeat that I'm not enough, I'm not worthy. And these are all this lineage, the patterns that we are carrying. And as starseeds, we're meant to wake up. Some of us do, some of us don't. But wake up and say, oh, I don't want to do that this way. I'm not going to do it like that. Or, oh, I want to heal this pattern. I want to wake up out of this pattern. So, this is sort of what the regular constellations are. And some, I say the Indian community, they are doing fantastic work with breaking of curses and vows and things like that. And a person may have made a vow as a witch to never do their spiritual work because it got all their sisters killed. That was another
Yeah.
client of mine. And she's like, I can't see. I can't see because their eyes were gouged out. And, again, I'm not laughing, but these are real things we're experiencing in the body right now in this present moment.
I think it's important to just highlight like these are things that come out. Like I do past life regressions in QHHT, which is quantum healing, which is Dolores Cannon's technique. These things come up. And if you, well, I guess you can't necessarily do hypnosis. Like you will encounter these things as a therapist if you're not ready, you're not going to serve your client.
Right. I love that you said that. I totally agree with that. I think our clients are also lessons, and our frequency attracts the clients. So sometimes it's like, hey, I just keep attracting clients that are so and so. I hear my colleagues say that, and I'm like, babe, is this something you need to heal within you? Because it's
Oh,
a
this
two-way street.
happens. You could be, I don't even know. You don't have to believe in any of this, but you will definitely, I could tell you,
Yeah,
this happens. Like when I went through my divorce, I was like, please do not give me anybody that's going through a divorce as their presenting issue. Like I'm not in a place to handle that. And it was like five people got through, and I'm like, how is that possible?
yeah.
That I specifically said that, and it was just like that is literally the frequency you're on, and that is what you attract, and that happens.
Yeah, so for all the therapists, just see, why do I get these clients? What do I need to do? Do past life regression, expand beyond the clinical training. I really recommend this to anybody who does psychotherapy, to go beyond the human symptom, the psyche, and expand through that. Like, so Erickson, Carl Jung, some of those theories, they throw us little, they're just, they really point to it. But they would get hung, like they would murder them if they talked about this stuff, you know? Hindsight is 2020 for us.
Yeah.
So they
Well,
could have
even
just kind of,
you were bringing up channeling. I've had, I see a number of Christians, and there's nothing. We all paths are sacred to me.
yeah.
But I've had experiences with people telling me like I was talking to somebody and they like go into the spontaneous channeling and share something with somebody that they did not think. It came through them. And it blows their mind. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I said that. And I'm like, you were channeling. That's what happened.
I don't know why people are afraid of the word. I'm just like, use it. It's fine.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's like religion and other, and again, nothing against religion. Like I said, all those are, they're just neutral. But yeah, they are channeling, right? Everything is channeling. They become a vessel to tell someone something. You ever walk around and someone says, like, you want to go to Egypt, right? And it's just like, okay, give me a sign. And then you walk by and you see the thing. And then you hear someone say, yeah, that's so cool. Like, I just blah, 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 Egypt. You're like, oh my God. Why did I hear that, Or they
Well, then,
repeat something.
yeah, right. It's like the universe is speaking to you, and then you talk about young, but like the synchronicities like get
Mhm.
tossed in your way, and sometimes we're just not aware, not paying attention.
Absolutely. It's like we just, how are you receiving the information? And I love that you said that because channeling is not just one way. And for, most people know that, but for some clients that may not and understand, every time that you're in the flow, you're in your zone and your ego is not in the way, you're channeling. You could be painting, you could be making a bracelet, you can be driving, you can be listening to music, you can be playing music. You're bringing that channeling, you're in that flow, you're connected to your higher spirit. Am I right? Is this how you see it?
Yeah, because I've heard so many like musicians or artists are just like I don't know where it came from, it just like came out. It just came through me.
Yeah, or like Marvel, right? Marvel. I don't know. Like, can I say Marvel comics? Sometimes you watch and you're like, did he definitely channeled this stuff or had visions of these?
Oh, for sure. It cracks me up. My brother, God bless him, he'll never watch this. He doesn't believe in
Mike,
anything in the
never say
spiritual
never.
note.
I just channeled the word Marvel, so never say never.
He'll be like, "Hey man, this new Marvel movie came out. They're talking about multidimensional stuff." And I'm like, "That's what I've been talking about."
No, that's not what you're saying. What?
He can't, it's like this cognitive dissonance, like,
Oh
yeah,
my
but no,
God.
like time travel. I'm like, hey
Oh
man,
gosh.
we all come to it differently. Whatever, it doesn't make a difference.
Oh my God. James, seriously, like the hardest time I have is with psychic mediumship, right? Like I bring in people's loved ones. So it's not like 12th dimensional or what, not another universe, more like, oh, okay, your loved one's here. And people who have they have not done this before, all of a sudden it's like deer in the headlights. I'm like, he says, you did this? No. And then everyone just texts me, oh, now I realize I saw a deer go by and that this buck was following me and we locked eyes and I'm like, I said, I just told you, how do you understand a buck? And it's like, you guys were like having a race down on the way here. Like, that's significant. So I know what you mean. Everybody knows and everybody understands. But eventually, I'm hearing that in the upcoming years of 2027 and 2028, people are going to, I think it's somebody's prediction. It could be Bashar that said that, and I honed in on that, or it could be Edgar Casey because I love his material too.
Hmm.
And there was this that people are going to, a mass amount of people are going to wake up to their multidimensional self and start having visions of their past lives, just like we are, right? So I feel like a lot of starseeds, we've been preparing for this. So when that happens, like your brother or people are like, oh my God, I just had a dream, like blah, blah, blah. And we'll say, oh, don't worry. Like this is, and finally they'll have enough because they're going to try to label that as psychosis. Be ready.
Oh, I know, which is why listen, like I am so grateful for you coming on here and sharing this because, we're two clinicians. And I think a big part of this job right now and this time is to be able to hold a container for that, and not reflect back that someone is crazy or delusional, like, oh, you saw this, like you must not be sane in the mind. But it's like, wait a minute, no, no, no. Like you got to open up here. There's far more going on than you understand.
That's why exactly some of us who've chosen this career field are in this career field, and that's why it's important that we understand the cosmic aspect, the soul aspect, right? The different parts. It's so important. Like, please know that you are exactly where you need to be, and we're going to see how every single one of us are in our population, and we're being placed there, and we know that that's what it is for. But you're exactly right, and I'm telling you, this is going to happen again. It's going to go back to 1800s behavior where they're going to label everyone, and we're going to have to work it.
Listen, I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, if you
Yeah.
take an oath to do no harm, like that's a responsibility that you have to carry. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be skeptics and people that come after you in some way. But if you care about people and and you have a heart, and you're
Yeah, that
looking
we're
out for
gonna lose our
people,
licenses. I already know that they could, and we're okay with that. Okay, take your license back. We're not going to be a part of this, whatever lie that this is. And I hope that it's not that bad, right? Because we can be
sure.
off network, and we can be, because this if this happens, and I don't know the severity of how this goes, but I'm prepared for that. I'm prepared to help people get to that level. Instead of doing 5 years of talk therapy, calling someone schizophrenic, and there's schizophrenia, right? Like the medicine and all the things that we're going to distinguish that sometimes.
Be aware of all of it, right? Like,
Right, right. And I have dealt with that with schizophrenia, and I have also channeled the Arcturians for that because it's very personal to me. A family member of mine has that. And what I was told, and I share this with you, it's really interesting. They are the shadow bearers. It's a star for some, not all. It's a star seed archetype.
hmm,
Schizophrenia is. They.
interesting.
It's very interesting what I channeled on this, and it was just so heart opening that these star seeds, some of them come in. They are by design more open from their crown chakra, and more like they're open more to seeing these different dimensions. So for whatever reason, at the soul level, they've chosen this. They literally transmute the darkest of the collective. So while they transmute it, they're like a filtering. It's called shadow bearer. They're a filtering kind of thing. They're a filtering mechanism. So they do work with they, because sometimes you're like, they're entities. There's definitely entities, right? They're all over, because I've tapped in and I've seen entities around him, and I've talked to them. I was like, no, get out of here. But in a way that they're working with that, they transmute some of the darkest parts of the collective or the lineages that they come from. They basically, there's this old ancient Vedic story, and I'm paraphrasing, that Shiva or some of them, they eat the poison so others won't be infected. So they literally internalize all of this to transmute as much as they can, and they could die from it, right? When they just lose it, or to death. Like, this is their mission. These are amazing souls, and I have so much honor for these souls, bipolar and schizophrenic. that they really truly, and I know, and if somebody wants to judge me as someone with a PhD that's saying this, go right ahead. This is truly what I believe in. And it's important that we see these beings, these star seeds, as who they are instead of a disease with a human attached. They are the transmuters of darkness. They are the transformers, not, but again, they transmute darkness into
Yeah.
light. Isn't this
No,
interesting? It's
it's
incredible.
super interesting, and I'm really, glad that you shared that because I think it's helpful for people to maybe be open to another perspective of what's going on, right? Like I truly believe that everyone has a function and a purpose, and it helps explain what that purpose is. It's perhaps a higher level than someone might have ever really thought about.
And on the other side of this coin, I just want to make sure for those, because most people have someone with mental illness in their family. It's really a thing. And
Sure.
it's important, though, that you protect your energy because they do have darkness around them a lot. So you
Mm,
have to have your boundaries for family members and others with these individuals. You have to have protection and proper energetic boundaries. Again, not in a fear based way, but if you're not used to being around entities or darkness, or you haven't done shadow work within yourself, you could be triggered by what's around them. Back to shadow
oh, you touched on something there.
back to shadow work.
Well, I think, as a clinician or a healer, right? Like someone who's working with somebody, this could be any, modality necessarily, but if you haven't done work, it, how can someone protect themselves, right? Because you don't know necessarily what someone's doing or what they're walking into your office with. And if you haven't done something, you could be open or susceptible to things, no?
Absolutely. It's so important for clinicians to do shadow work. You gotta do it. You have to. Even spiritual people, right? James, we know people are trying to do healing work, and you walk, like, I wanted to do a Reiki course, and I wanted my husband to go to it. And this woman said, I only train women. Why? Again, I understand, and everyone has free will, but what trauma is it that, as a Reiki therapist and a psychotherapist, that you have not dealt with? It's so important that you do your shadow work.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you could take on energy and then you carry that with you if you're not careful. So even that's a big thing I've had to work on too is
Spiritual hygiene is taking
yeah,
a shower energetically.
yes, exactly.
What did you work
Yeah.
on? I'm curious. I think your regression work is super helpful with that.
Just like carrying stuff that people bring in and not clearing it off of me, like it can stick, right? Where it's like, okay, I need to be intentional about going in to the session and then clearing afterwards, like in between. So, and I've heard mediums talk about this too, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm going from one session to the next session. I have to sever this connection, but I still need to connect. So I have to find some methodology or ritual or protocol to do that in a
Right.
way that is still authentic and loving and clear, right? Because you have to tune into that person and you can't carry what you just left.
Absolutely. So the Arcturians, Council of Time, said to share this with you right now. Of what they told me to do was have the affirmation of, I am only observing, not absorbing. I am
Mm,
only observing, not absorbing. I am only observing this experience and not absorbing this experience. And Archangel Michael, I usually call because that's one of my guides. So I always ask Archangel Michael, and the Arcturians do a fantastic job with cord removal and protection and grounding. So I always ask them to be present with me. Not always. Sometimes it's very difficult for certain people, especially if people come in to for me and they've done zero spiritual work, and it's just like someone hasn't showered for 40 years, and you're like, man. There's no one pill to heal you overnight. And I feel the energy. And I know, James, like, it's just sometimes I'm just like, whoa. But sometimes I'm also clearing. So remember, it might be something within you that they're helping you clear.
Interesting. Yeah,
That's
can you say more about that? So like that's
yeah.
because
So
with energy too, like empaths, it's like sometimes I'm always curious, like, is this my stuff or is it their stuff?
yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to sometimes, and sometimes it's both because everyone, remember, they're a mirror. They're a mirror of us. Everyone's
Mm,
connected. We're all like just different facets of this. So everyone is a projection, a lesson, a part of us that needs to be seen, a part of us that. So I always look at it this way too. And I'm just like, all right, do I need more practice? Do I need to? Maybe it's something to remember to put your boundary before that, or cleanse before and cleanse right after, or do a prayer, or do a cord cutting, or have an energy. And like I usually say, put your left hand on your heart and put your right hand here, and just say, my energy stays with me, and your energy stays with you. And then I'm also a shaman, so I also do a shaman clearing for like spiritual, but you can't do that for your normal clients. But you can just say, let's close out with an affirmation. And I can channel an affirmation for you later of, hey, let's, but the boundary is super key, James, and I think we talked about that. Remember, we in how you mentioned to me that people who merge themselves and sacrifice themselves, and they can't really, do you remember what we discussed?
prior to this, yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, like it was just they become suicidal because it's sort of like, allow me to help everyone, and I'm open, and I want to be, you know, do this, and I'm active, and this is a Pleiadian star seed specifically, but it's most stars, these angelic and Pleiadians that I've done readings for. A lot of times, so much unconditional love, it's very difficult to have that boundary. It's very difficult for them that I've seen. And they're always, it's super open, and it's just like, I don't know why dark entities are coming, and I don't know, and it's just like, okay, it needs to be a switch on and off. If you're a medium, babe, you can't be on all the time. So there's an etiquette, there's an education with your psychic abilities. If you want to open them up, if you haven't mastered boundaries, they're not going to activate that gift.
Yeah. I've well, I've had one client who was a child who, you know,
Oh,
had,
I love them. Yeah.
and was seeing spirits and things like that. And their psychiatrist, who was, I mean, lovely psychiatrist, Christian background, but sent the referral over like, hey, I need some help with this. I'm not getting what's going on here. And thank God did not, just go ahead and just prescribe medications. But that's what it was. And it became a, strategy. Like we got to you turn it off and set a boundary here, to protect you and to not be afraid. Which I've heard you talk about this, but it's about empowerment, right? Like you have this gift, but we're trying to empower you. Like we are
It's a
aware these things
galactic one.
exist.
This is the galactic pattern.
Hmm.
I can literally track this out to your galactic life, to one of your galactic lifetimes in which you had to speak up. It's incredible. It's really incredible. It's absolutely incredible. This whole boundary thing and speaking your truth, realizing that by verbalizing, go to light, go to light, go to light. I'm a sovereign being, and I do not allow you in my space here and now. In the name of, you can say Jesus or Archangel Michael or the Galactic Federation or Source, in the name of Source. I call in Source of all being. And I do not allow, I'm a sovereign being, and I do not allow you in my space. Now, you have to verbalize this, intone this with firm voice
Hmm.
in order for that. And then we can go back to the timelines in which you were a witch or you were slaughtered in some galactic war, or, again, it's just really all of this are these are all patterns. It's like a mosaic. It all comes back
So
together.
so fascinating, Dory. You outed me at the channel panel. You're like, you're an Arcturian. I'm like, how do you know that? I've
I
never said that out loud.
know. I know my Arcturians. You stopped by and I was like, oh, look at this. It's a breath of fresh air for me when it's star season, especially the Arcturian. It's my, key star frequency. And it's just so much of me. There's no difference when I channel them too. That's why for so long I doubted that I was channeling, because I was just like, this is it? Like, I thought it was gonna be. And it was just
Yeah.
always me. It's so much of me. And I just felt like I could breathe when I saw you. It was so good. I was like, Victorian brother, hi.
Well, I think I told you this, but there was one point I had a client of mine had gone to a medium, and then the
Mhm.
medium was telling them about me. And I'm like, and they had come back into a session and was telling me like, yeah, I went to this psychic and he was talking about you. And I'm like, who was talking about
So
me?
awesome. I love it.
And so eventually I'm like, I'm just curious by nature, and teach mindfulness, right? So it's like, be curious, be curious.
Mhm.
So I talked to this person and, eventually they're like, you have this Arcturian, you're whatever. And I'm like, what the heck is an Arcturian?
I know. I know. Me too. At first, I was like, oh. But then I started crying and I was like, oh, I am this.
Well, I talked to another person at some point, and then they were like, yeah, you have this galactic, and they start going into like, you're an Arcturian, right? And I'm like, okay, you're the second person who said this. Like,
Oh,
what?
good. It's not like Dora, she's blowing smoke up my,
No,
There's
no,
this
no,
crazy
you.
lady just all up in my, it's just so familiar and so beautiful. I mean, all star seeds are just that remembrance. It's always like, oh, brother. And that's why I felt. I was like, and especially that you came up to me. And again, with the psychotherapy, healing trauma, past life regression, karmic healing, a lot of times, a lot of Pleiadian, Arcturian star seeds are doing this work.
Well, it was a pleasure to do so, right? Because it's like, okay, we're experiencing this event, the channel panel, but also like, okay, there's other psychotherapists out there that are aware of this. And even too much in my training, the woman who taught me hypnotherapy, at one point she was like, have you ever heard of Bashar?
Love it.
I'm like,
I love
I'm
it.
like, I have heard of Bashar, and now I've met Bashar.
I just love it when that happens.
But it's like, talk to me. Like, these are all very practical tools, right? Like the met. I don't know, was it they call it the metaphysics? Bashar's teaching at the channel panel was about just like the framework of life, like how it all happens and how you can interface with it. It was
It's
quite
like
compelling.
math, right? How he channels, it's like math, literally. It's to me like a math equation. He's like it's like geometry and algebra to me. How he just goes like this and this and then this and then that this and then this and that, and then at the end he brings it all together and you're like mind blown emoji. Like it's like so incredible, right? He
In very
I
practical steps.
consider Bashar a cosmic psychiatrist. Like the best one out there right now, that collective. They are and but I did also, I want to tell you, they're first contact specialists, and I'm also a contactee, so I I may have mentioned this to you. The Arcturians who came for my contact experience when I had a memory recall and had a regression with the beautiful Barbara Lamb for my experience, she we went there and I saw them and I was just asking them questions and I was projected in the ship and I asked them about and they said there's a first contact force. Like all across the galaxy and universe, there are these specialists from different collectives that all do first contact. It was incredible, and I don't know if this has been channeled before. For me, it was new. I hadn't heard it anywhere. And they told me that, yeah, we all know each other and we're part of the same thing, and it's almost like the Space Force kind of thing. They have their own kind of, it's incredible. I was like, oh, that's amazing. And that's what you guys are because they looked a little different than what I knew from some of the Arcturians they're shorter and they had like a really extended back of the head. And I was just like, you guys are Arcturians, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, we are Arcturians. So we're the first contact or experiencer specialists. And they were only like about 4 or 5 feet tall. It was really awesome. And I had so many questions.
I have a lot of questions because I just had a
Yeah.
regression with Barbara Lamb.
You did! Yay! We'll do this off. We'll do this off. We'll do this offline because I'm so excited to know what happened with yours.
I just have so many like more questions. But yeah, no, in sharing about this too, I want to demystify some of these things too with people. Like, you have had you're sharing about like a contact experience, but like
Yeah.
just talking with Ruben Langdon one time, it's like once you've seen UFOs or whatever, if you want to call them UAPs, like
Yeah,
you
whatever.
can't unsee it.
No.
It's just like, okay, there's something else. Obviously, like you can't deny it. Like I could be in denial, I suppose, and be like, well, that didn't really happen. But I was with other people who also saw it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an isolated experience.
Yeah, and Arcturian be, like, oh, I don't believe it until it's like a lot of science mind, our science mind, right? Like our ego mind. I need to know, the ego needs to understand this. But there's this other side of us that's like super galactic healer, like expanded. No, that's amazing, right? Like, I do want to say that every person's experience is honored if they feel like they were a victim and they were that, it was tough, and if they're part of uh, the DNA program, that some people are still kind of traumatized from the experience. And if anyone here has that, I'm sure that James, you can, and I've been trained by Barbara as well for experiencers. You're honored, and it's important. And it is kind when we have the veil and you're not awakened, it's scary. It feels weird for some people if they remember that and they're not fully out and they're there and they're, they have, whatever on their body if there's something. And I've heard that there are certain collectives that are doing some of these, and I don't want to, if I don't know if you want to get into that. So, but I just want to say that everyone's experience is honored. But most of the time, and I want to recommend people to come to you and me and Barbara and others who are experienced with this, so we can really share with you that you are beyond just this and you are not a victim and you're doing something incredible. You're helping the hybrid program, you're helping other beings, you're really donating your DNA for beautiful, for creation. You're co-creating new collectives, new beings, new human, hybrids. I think it's so beautiful and such an honor. And most people really start coming out of the victim mindset and opening up to their experiences. And when we release that fear, it's so empowering. So I just wanted to share that if anybody has had that experience.
I mean, it's utterly fascinating. You know, I had an experience with someone who was a genetic scientist working on the cure for cancer and also was a contactee who was donating their own genetic. It was like it was like the most, it was a fearful event,
Yeah,
right? The whole experience can be terrifying, but yet the connection was love.
yeah.
It was very fascinating.
It's such an honor to meet people. Every time I do a galactic reading or a galactic constellation, I'm so honored, James, when I meet most people here, as Bashar says, that we all know are masters. And everyone, almost everyone, not everyone, but most starseeds have a Galactic Federation post. And immediately, it's just such an honor to meet everyone in that capacity and what they're doing for the universe, for the galaxy. And when we see people like this, it's just, I don't know, for me, it was just such an honor to meet this Arcturian first contact specialist. It was just so beautiful to meet that. But it was also beautiful to meet you. And I've seen you as an Arcturian, James, that doing the work up there, you're part of the DNA, the karmic. We have technology on Arcturus that helps with karmic healing. This collective isn't ready for like that level of that, but it will come here. I'm hearing in maybe 2040s and 2030s. In the meanwhile, we are channeling and bringing our frequency and healing karmic wounds and trauma in our way, but you are working with that. You're working with that technology as well. I know you from there. It's so cool. So it's an honor to meet you. It's an honor to really meet you down here.
Well, it's heartfelt, and I know we wanted to talk a little bit about practical things and integrating with the heart and heart consciousness and perhaps some techniques, maybe a meditation. Would you like to take us into that place now?
Absolutely. I want to recommend the Heart Math Institute. There's a lot of empirical data they've done for those who like to see, proof and scientific data. They've done much research, a lot of peer-reviewed studies on heart-brain coherence and your heart's intuitive intelligence and how important it is in a person's health, in making better decisions, being more centered, having, higher lows and higher highs when you do these practices. And a lot of people have come to me and they're like, I can't meditate, my brain is always running and I'm always busy. This is literally 1 minute. And James, you had put the link to a free Heart Math Institute course, I think, that you can put the people could just go into and understand how this works.
Hmm.
But I can take you guys through a meditation, this 1 minute meditation, as an example of how quick and how beautiful this could be, if that's okay. And afterwards, I will have the Arcturians do a heart chakra blockage removal. Your heart is where people want to channel, you want to be a medium. Everything happens through the heart. It may come through the crown or go through the throat. It always has to go through the heart. This is really the universe within us goes through the cosmic intelligence through the heart. So, absolutely, this 1 minute, I'm not taking any excuses. We can all do this. It's beautiful. So, whenever you're ready, and at the end, I will do light language. And light language is frequency, it's your soul's language. I want to explain that too, right? Did you want me to kind of say that? That
Please.
every soul, as we discussed this today, has had lives and different, and every one of us have different DNA. For example, I have like Anunnaki and other things in the flesh. Sumerians in the past literally says Mesopotamia because I was born in Persia in my DNA. But then I also have lots of different, Pleiadian lives and Arcturian lives. So this whole multidimensional me brings my frequency through the heart. And so it's important when I can verbalize it. Sometimes you can draw it. Like language could be many different things, but this is a language. It could be hand gestures, as you'll see. It may sound like an ancient language, but it's just a mixture of all the things that I am and coming through me. I am the filter, but you could bring in different collectives. Now, it might sound, sometimes I know what I'm bringing in, and sometimes I don't, and I don't want to know. It's part of it is surrender, to allow for the energy to come in. It helps for the clinicians, it helps bypass the ego mind, the questioning mind, and bring in the energy without having the translation when we channel. So sometimes I could try to have some words if it comes in, if it aligns, and if they don't want me to, then I would just bring in the light language. But we will activate your heart chakra, the Merkaba field in your heart chakra, and remove any blockages. So please, before we begin, do this for me with us and say, I am open to receive.
I am open to receive.
Yes. So you're allowing, this is your free will, and as you open yourself up to receive this information, we'll do the meditation and we'll do the light language activation.
All
Okay?
right.
Let's do this, beautiful souls. So take a deep breath. Of course, your breath is your connection with the spirit. And take a moment to get comfortable in your seat. And allow your body to settle. Let your shoulders soften. And let your jaw relax. And your breath to slow down. If it feels comfortable, gently close your eyes. Now bring your awareness to the center of your chest, the area of your heart. You may place a hand over your heart if it helps you connect more deeply. Begin to breathe slowly and gently as if your breath is flowing in and out through your heart. Inhale, hold, exhale. There's nothing to force, just an easy, neutral rhythm, which with each breath, allow yourself to become more present, more grounded, and more here. Now, as you continue breathing through your heart, bring to mind a feeling of appreciation or gratitude. It could be a person, it could be a place, a memory, or simply for being alive, for this portal, for this activation. Let this feeling of joy and gratitude gently expand from your heart and in your heart. Breathe it in and breathe it out. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. Simply return your attention to your heart and to your breath, and to this feeling of appreciation. Notice any sense of warmth and ease and calm spreading through your chest. Breathe gently and feel this beautiful feeling of appreciation radiate throughout your body. Now keep the sense of coherence and calm and begin to bring your awareness into the room. Wiggle your fingers and toes if you like. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope you carry this beautiful feeling with you into the rest of your day or night, wherever you are, a part of this beautiful planet or in other planets, if they're listening. And the Arcturian Council of Time are going to bring in heart activation for you. Dao sanaya kuriyat mashuk ito yatana sayawa. Ekina sayatika ya maya tumaya saya hotenasa. Rakumi ashoma takasia tu yatanasa. Aruka aniasha. Dear ones, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. We are with you at all times. We see you, we are with you, we feel your joy and we feel your pain. Rawa Sama, we connect with you at the heart, dear ones. Nawa Shawaki Atunasia. Your heart is the most powerful organ within your body. Watuna Shoku Ina Rawa Tanasi Okai Yatina. Enu rakwatana shawa sa taniawa. Etona taya semi okania tomashaya. Rawatama suk inasa. Remember, for everything on this planet, your intention is the key to opening the treasure chest. And that treasure chest is in your heart. Ruyatsmik anu etonas mawa. Open your heart. Ruayasama uk onu yatana. Feel the golden lights. We are shining on your heart. Watana suik awarayasa. We are only mirroring your light. Dear ones, you shine when we look at Earth. You are gems of divine mysteries. See yourself. Remember who you are. Awat makuina raya shi awakaana. Etuma eo raya sokopi awa. Enu erat mua nasa isho ok uma e otania watasa wak umasa. Imagine a beautiful rose. A rose, crystal rose, golden crystal rose. That is your heart. It is an honor to connect with you at the heart, dear ones. We will be working on your body for the next 7 days. We will help you open your heart. Call us when you need us. Awat miyosh aguina etoruki asana iatoma iasha waka atana. We are you, you are us. Ahara in light and love. Wakatinyasa. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you so much. Oh, I just love their energy.
So much love, Dr. Dorie.
Oh, I love you too. I want to bring this Arcturian portal. A friend of mine painted for me on this agate crystal. For some people, Arcturians could not have a physical body. Again, for clients who may not know, they are depicted this way. This is from Beautiful Runa, an artist who's painted this, and I will have her information given to you.
Thank you.
I don't know. Do you feel activation? They're portals. They're beings. They're true beings.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Thank you so much, James. What a pleasure. It's been an honor, truly.
Absolutely. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing that activation, your wisdom and absolute love. I mean, that meditation was unbelievable.
Love you. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure of mine. I love you, all beautiful souls who are watching. I love you so much. We are brothers and sisters, star brothers and sisters, and I hope that we connect and we see each other. If you see me at an event, please stop by. I love to talk a lot. So just connect with me, or we'll come together like James and I did.
Listen, I was expecting something and then I ran into you. So there you go.
It's been beautiful. It's been an honor for me. I hope we're going to be friends forever in many multi-dimensional places.
We came here at the same time. I'm sure our
For
missions
sure. I know. I
are
went up
synced.
there and I was like, James, hello. You're also working on this Arcturian technology.
We will have you back, Dory. Thank you so much.
So much. It's an honor. I have so much fun with this. So please, again, thank everybody for being a part of this. We co-created a beautiful geometric shape. The Arcturians just shared that they feel the energy of your audience, and there are so many star seeds, and really 80% of Arcturian star seeds are watching, like right now, who are watching are really have Arcturian lives, is what they just told me. I'm like, okay, giving me a number, very Arcturian of you. But it's beautiful, and I hope this activation will be felt in their heart and in their everyday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me on the Journey Mindfulness podcast, where we explore the edges of consciousness, the depth of the soul, and the practices that bring it all into daily life. If you enjoyed today's conversation, follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you're ready to go deeper, I offer a free consultation to explore how we can work together through psychotherapy, quantum healing, or one-on-one transformational coaching. Visit journeymindfulness.com to learn more and schedule your free consultation. Until next time, stay present, stay curious, and enjoy the journey.